Who has the best attack in the Champions League? Real Madrid or Bayern?
I want to make a point about this. Are Arsenal players faking injuries just to avoid losing trophies again?
Let me tell you about the downfall of Italian football with a quick history lesson. Okay?
And finally, the biggest one of them all. Who's winning the Champions League?
Welcome back to the 7th episode of Offside Odds presented by Sports Interaction, the sportsbook for soccer. Michele, welcome back. It's been a little bit.
We're back. Things are getting hot now. They are hot, I think, already.
They've been.
We're going to talk about the best attack in the Champions League. We're going to talk about Arsenal. Are they going to choke once again? And finally, we're going to talk about our Azzurri a little bit at the end.
Let's talk about the results of Extra Time Showdown. We are now 3-3. So we've played for 6 episodes. We're 3-3. Last episode, you got 3 out of 5 predictions correct. I only got 2. Once again, we can't get more than 3 right. Like, we gotta get one of the episodes. You know what? If you get it, I'll be pretty happy.
I was locked in last week.
You were.
I think this week I'm even more locked in. And last week you didn't give me a penalty. So because we've been going through a very rough time.
I think we've had a penalty last week.
We've had just a lot of penalties happening to us. I'll spare you the penalty this.
Thank you very much. And again, I say it again. I hope one of us gets at least 5 correct, just for the people.
The record is 3. That's just what it is.
Okay, quiet now. Here we are. Europe's biggest stage, the world's biggest stage, some might say. 8 teams left, 1 underdog still in the competition. Some of these teams have tasted victory before, some haven't. This is the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Let's get right into it.
Before we get into the games, since you think you're the prediction king, I want to do a game with you.
I don't think.
Okay.
You said that. I never said that.
I want to do a game with you.
Sure.
All right? Let's do the ultimate footy predictions.
Soft.
Starting with the World Cup winner.
Portugal, 100%. Easy.
Serie A winner.
I know I'm jinxing myself here, but Inter is going to win.
I don't know about what happened with the national team, the two guys there, the 2-3 guys. La Liga, who's going to win it?
You know what? I'm going to have to say Barcelona.
I agree with that. Premier League.
I changed my mind on Arsenal. I think they're bottling the season. Man City's winning the Premier League.
I agree with that one. League on.
Lens, of course.
What?
No, I'm joking. PSG, of course.
It is close, though.
It is close.
Bundesliga.
Bro, Bayern. Like, they won it a month ago, I think. Bayern.
Europa League.
Far from favorites, but I have Bologna to win the Europa League.
That's a crazy take, bro. And finally, the biggest one of them all. Who's winning the Champions League?
Bayern again. No,
that's insane.
That's what's going to happen. Okay, can we get into games now? Done with games?
Let's get into it. We're done with the game. Let's get with the real games now.
Obviously, a lot of huge games. It's the quarterfinals of the Champions League. There's no bad games, but I gotta say, the biggest game, I think the one everyone's looking forward to, is 2 giants, Real Madrid versus Bayern. Did you know that these two share the most played rivalry in Champions League or European Cup? 28 games they played against each other.
Wow, I actually didn't know that, but what I do know is that Real Madrid is unbeaten in the last 9 UEFA matches against Bayern. They won 7 and drew 2 games. Now, I'm very excited about this game. I think you have 2 of the best attacks facing off, 2 of the best strikers in the world. You have Mbappe versus Kane, and I honestly think whoever takes this game might go all the way.
I think you're right. 2 of the best attacks, but I think Bayern, especially this season, they've just shown a different level. Kane. Now, I know we're filming this on Thursday, April 2nd, so we're still waiting for the matches on the weekend, but Kane got injured with England, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So if he's missing, that's a big key player.
That's all Bayern. I mean, not all they've got because their attack is crazy, but that's the guy that puts the ball in the back of the net, and he's just a leader. And I mean, the injuries and in these international games, especially in friendlies, they're just just crazy.
Let's talk about international breaks later. What I want to talk about now that we're on the topic, Kane, Mbappe, some of the biggest attacks. I want to do a challenge with you now. Okay? You're going to go head-to-head with the different teams left in the Champions League, and you're going to tell me who has the best attack, okay? We're going to do a little game.
Okay.
Are you ready? Who has the best attack in the Champions League? Real Madrid or Bayern?
Bayern has scored 97 goals in 27 games this season. Give me Bayern.
Bayern or Arsenal's 𝗀𝗀𝗪𝗀, Eze, and Saka?
Arsenal is solid, but I'm going with Bayern.
Bayern or Sporting?
Brother, Bayern.
Bayern versus PSG's 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗀 𝗀𝗏.
PSG without Vitinha is not the same PSG. It's not the same attack. I'm going Bayern.
This guy loves Bayern. Okay, Bayern versus Liverpool's Ekitike Sala Wirtz.
Can you give me a real team, please? I'm going Bayern.
Oh my God. Okay. Bayern versus Atletico.
I'm going Bayern still. There's no question there.
Best for last. Bayern versus Barca's Lamine, Lewa, Rafinha.
Honestly, Lamine Yamal is magic. Lewandowski is a leader. And Rafinha makes it all happen. Give me Barcelona being the best attack in the Champions League right now.
Damn, you really had me there, huh?
I know. You thought it was going to be Bayern all the way?
I thought you were going to have Bayern all the way.
Nope.
Now, let's get back into the game, okay? Bayern has lost only one away game. 2 games in total the whole season, but only 1 away game. That was against Arsenal in November in the Champions League. I think at the Bernabeu, Bayern is at least, at a minimum, getting a tie, if not winning it.
Well, Real Madrid hasn't lost to Bayern since 2012. Okay, so I know the teams are very different now and, different players, different teams, but to me, history always repeats itself. I think Real Madrid is going to win this game, but I think Bayern is going to score at least 1 goal.
No matter what, I think we're going to have a great game. Another big game this time is Sporting versus Arsenal. Now, I know a lot of people will look at it. Sporting is, as I mentioned before, the underdog in this Champions League. Last time they faced Arsenal, they lost 5-1. And that was in last season of the Champions League during the league phase. But this season, Sporting, different beast. They're facing against Arsenal, who's the favorite to win the Champions League right now. Are we about to see the upset of the year?
Bodo is one thing, but Arsenal is a complete different beast. And, Arteta hasn't been sleeping since the beginning of the season. I think the guy wants to win everything this season. And so they might not win it all, but I don't think Sporting is going to be the team to kick them out.
Now, let's talk about injuries. So Arsenal had 11 players come back from international duty with injuries. Obviously, again, we're filming this on Thursday. We don't know if those are real or serious, how serious they are. But do you think if Arsenal is actually missing those 11 players, most of them are really, really key to the team, this is going to have an impact in the game?
I want to make a point about this. Are Arsenal players faking injuries just to avoid losing trophies again? Arsenal called up 18 players for international duties. 11 of them, 11, pulled out of their countries. Now let's see what's coming for Arsenal. FA Cup quarterfinal, Champions League quarters, both legs, and Man City in the league. This entire stretch pretty much is going to make or break their entire season. So obviously as a player, why would you risk playing an international friendly? Look at what happened to Rafinha. Playing with Brazil against France, the guy goes on, gets injured, and now guess what? Barca is going to play 3 times in 10 days against Atletico Madrid without their star player Rafinha. However, right now, this was the last international break before the World Cup. It's the time where the teams, the coaches get to see their squads, get them ready for the biggest tournament in the entire world. So, what do you think? The players should protect their clubs or play for their country? Let me know in the comments.
I think, first of all, come here.
Yeah.
Right there.
Of course.
International matches are complete, especially if they're friendlies, complete. Then remember to beef that one out, please. But I totally agree. I think Arteta made the smart play. If it wasn't from Arteta, it was from the players. They knew what they had to do. They have a huge end of the season coming up, World Cup coming up. They don't want to get an injury. And you play these South American teams. You saw what Arayu did, just straight right into the ankle of Foden. So very dangerous and just not worth it. For a friendly, not worth it. Anyways, back to the game. I've changed my mind about Arsenal. Last episode, I said they were going to win it all. It's okay to change your mind. You can I've analyzed a few things. I think Arsenal is going to do exactly what Inter did last year. one step away from winning it all. They're going to win no trophies this season. I'm going to say right here, no trophies this season. There's too much pressure on them. We've seen it against Man City. What happened? They lost 2-0 in the final earlier, like a few weeks ago. So I have Arsenal losing everything this season, but they're going to go through against Sporting. They're going to go through this round. They're going to make it to the semis. And particular this first leg, I have them tying in Lisbon.
So I think, Sporting at home has only lost one game domestically. They also beat PSG at home, and they beat Bordeaux 5-0, which we all know the whole Bordeaux thing. Arsenal is coming from that final loss, as you said, and I think the players and the coach is starting to see the ghosts from losing all the trophies. So I think this is Sporting's chance at home to make something happen, but I think Arsenal's defense is too strong.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with a draw. I'm calling a draw.
I'd love to see Sporting win and go through, but I just don't see it happening. Another huge game. It has to be PSG versus Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool's form has been mid at best this season. Former EPL winners, now fifth, fighting for UCL spot, and they have Man City in the FA Cup right before this first leg of PSG. PSG on the other side, I feel like they've turned their season around with the 8-2 win against Chelsea in the round of 16, where Dembélé, Barcola, and Vargas all scored. Who do you see taking this first leg?
Listen, I think that trio is very dangerous, but you're forgetting _Doué and you're forgetting PSG's mastermind Vitinha. I honestly think that without him, PSG is not the same team. But the one that really impresses me the most out of all of them is Kvara. Us being Serie A fans, we saw him come to Napoli as a nobody, and Napoli paid 10 million euros for him. And he went there, had an amazing season, won a Scudetto with Napoli. People were like, oh, he's going to have it was a one-season wonder. Guy won 2 Scudetti with Napoli. He won a Champions League with PSG. He's now worth 90 million euros. It's not bad.
I mean, not bad. For Napoli, it worked out, but at the end of the day, these random foreign players coming into Serie A is, we've talked about this. This is what ruined, in a way, Italian soccer. Again, no offense to Kvara, he's a great player and amazing for Napoli. It's a great business move, but this is what ruined Italian soccer, and this is what we saw last week.
You want to get into this?
Well, like we've talked about it for at least, I want to say an overall 72 hours that I've talked about this, but this is what ruined Italian football. I think they should deserve to know. Don't they deserve to know?
I guess if you really want to.
Okay, let me just do it. Let me tell you about the downfall of Italian football with a quick history lesson. Okay. It's 1990, peak Serie A. Almost 90% of players in the league are Italians because there is a strict limit on foreign players. 1995, things start to change with the Bosman ruling. Any player that has a European passport is not considered foreign anymore. This is when you start to see slowly more Italian players leave that starting 11 roster. Then, 2006, everything changes. Calciopoli, match-fixing scandal, some of the biggest teams involved, Serie A's reputation goes down. TV deals drop, sponsor leave, money disappears. At the same time, countries like England, Spain, Germany, they start investing heavily into youth development. Instead, Italian clubs, they're struggling with this financial crisis, but they still have to compete in Europe in order to make some of that money back. They decide to go and buy cheaper players from abroad instead of developing their own youth. Short-term win, long-term disaster. That decision right there is what killed Italian football as we know it. Fast forward 20 years later, Serie A is still a top league in Europe, but only 30% of players are Italians. There's no real star boy on the national team. The national team has failed to make 3 consecutive World Cups. And you know what, though? I know one thing about us Italians. We always find a way back. The only thing is, I don't really know how we're going to fix this. But maybe let me know in the comments.
I think there is a lot to be done to fix this. We're recording this on April 2nd. We just heard news before starting recording that Gravina has left now as the president of the FIGC in Italy. And I think Gattuso is going to leave next. And There's going to be a whole
We're going to restart
restructure.
again.
But let's go back to the game. Let's go back
Sorry, we got emotional there. We had to talk about it.
We had to talk about it. Let's go back to Liverpool and PSG. I think that, PSG getting all the help they can from Ligue 1. Once again, their game against Lens for first place got rescheduled, which is a big game. Liverpool, as we've been talking about, they haven't been doing too well. Now with the news that Salah is going to leave at the end of the season, I think this is PSG's game. They're going to win, and I think they're going to score at least 2 goals.
You know what? I know Liverpool is not having the best season, fighting for a UCL spot, but when they play in the Champions League, I watch them. Something just sparks. Something turns on for this team. I believe Liverpool can get a draw in this first leg in France.
That's a crazy take, but why don't we go to our favorite time of the show now?
I think it's time. We've talked a lot. They don't want to hear us talk. They want some predictions.
100%.
Let's go into Extra Time Showdown. And it's time for the Extra Time Showdown, brought to you by Sports Interaction, the sportsbook for soccer. This is when Mikel and I go head-to-head. We're going to give our predictions to 5 props, and next week, we're going to say who got most of them right.
Let's see.
Right?
Let's go
We're
to
going to go
Let's
head-to-head.
go for it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Locked in?
Locked in.
Okay. We're going to start, and again, we're doing just the first leg of this Champions League quarterfinals, okay? So, for this first leg, 1 team to win.
I think the Bernabeu is a special place, and Real Madrid is going to get a win against Bayern.
I have Arsenal winning against Sporting. Now, 1 game where both teams are going to score.
I think this is going to be the most exciting game the entire match day. Give me Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid.
Second versus third best attacks in the Champions League this season. Give me Real Madrid versus Bayern. Now, 1 game to go over 2.5 goals.
I'm going PSG, Liverpool. Liverpool's defense has been just struggling this season. PSG has scored a lot, as we have seen, even especially against Chelsea. Liverpool has scored a goal, at least 1 goal in their last 3 games. They beat Galatasaray 4-0. I think we're going to see a lot of goals here.
7 out of the last 8 times these 2 teams played, it has gone over 2.5 goals. Give me Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid. Now, 1 player to score in this first leg.
Listen, I don't know what's been happening with this player. One of the most underrated midfielders, in my opinion. But I'm going to take Valverde. I have to.
That's a crazy take. He brought his country to the World Cup with a very late winner. I hope this is a turning of the season for this guy. He has huge momentum. I'm going 𝗀𝗀𝗪𝗀 against his old team.
Makes sense.
Now, give me 1 team to move forward and go to the semifinals of the Champions League.
1 team that's going to move forward is Barcelona. And I think they might win it all.
You really have with Barcelona this year, but I have them winning the whole thing, so I have to go with Bayern.
We'll be back. Second
We
leg.
will. You know what? The games are so good. We will be back next week. We're doing a second episode for the second leg of these quarterfinals. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Let us know how we did, if you like our predictions, if you don't like us, just say whatever you want. Comment down below, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Ciao.